everybody, my name is Mathis and welcome to another channel update here on the channel. Feel like I've been doing a lot of these lately, but there's been a lot of things to talk about, from trips that I've been going on to conventions to just scheduling changes here on the channel or series changes, and I like to keep you guys abreast of the situation. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. I like to keep you updated on the information here on the channel. And this is going to be a little bit more of a serious talk, a bit about stuff that's been happening here on the channel, and I want to keep you guys updated. That's kind of what these videos are for. So let's just dive into the elephant in the room, the thing that I've been kind of talking about a little bit more on Twitter and a little bit more in the videos, and that is just the demonetization that's been happening here on YouTube and on the channel. Now, it's been no secret that the past few months, YouTube has implemented an algorithm that is automatically demonetizing videos because of what they deem problematic content, whether it be bad language, sexual content, socially explicit content, violent content, yada, 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 yada. But because YouTube is not transparent at all, they don't communicate at all, and their algorithm is as trash as ever, it just demonetizes everything. And apparently it's machine learning, and it's learning the best it can, but it's also a freaking computer and doesn't really know how to differentiate itself from like what an actual person would see and realize is okay for monetized content. For instance, one of the things the algorithm does is it just looks through the automatically generated subtitles of a video looking for keywords and then flags the video if it sees any keywords in it for demonetization that it doesn't like. And then it's up to a human to look it over and either approve it or continue to keep it demonetized. Now, for the past few months, I've been relatively silent on the issue, and I have said that it's awful and it's terrible, but I've been lucky enough where it really hasn't affected me and my channel all that much. Few videos here and there, but usually within a couple of hours, they're back to being remonetized and everything is hunky-dory. However, the past 2 to 3 weeks have been pretty effing awful for my channel, for Mathis Games specifically. For one reason or another, it has gone ham on all of my videos, and every video I upload at some point is usually demonetized for an hour or two, and then remonetized just by itself, or I have it flagged to be reviewed by actual human eyes, and then they approve it for monetization, and they say everything's a-okay, and then it gets to be remonetized again. However, it's been discovered recently by a bunch of people who have been going into the code of YouTube and doing research how exactly they flag things for demonetization. Basically what the algorithm does is it has a bunch of different numeric codes, like code 51, code 141, 142, and I'll try to remember to link the video in the description below, that if the algorithm goes through the video, looks at the thumbnail, the tags, the titles, and sees anything that it does not like, it will automatically throw those code tags into the code of the video, and the video is automatically flagged for demonetization. When the video is then eventually remonetized by a person or by the algorithm taking it back or whatever, those codes actually stay in the video. Those codes never go away. Once a video is flagged with those numeric codes, those codes stick, and it's pretty bad. Because something else that was discovered outside of demonetization is that once a code has been flagged for demonetization, those videos no longer get pushed out past your subscribers. And even then, I've had people saying, hey, I'm not getting videos in my sub box, you know, whatever, yada, 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 which could just be a YouTube bug that's happened in the past and it continues to happen for one reason or another. But that's pretty bad because a lot of YouTube growth and viewership comes from outside sources outside of subscribers. If you actually go back into my recent library of the past 3 weeks or so, you can see videos in the same series have massive fluctuations in views. Subnautica is a great example of videos that'll do really well, then really poorly, and then really well again, and then really poorly, and it's because Subnautica randomly gets demonetized. Some videos get demonetized, some do not. Some get demonetized for like 30 seconds, some don't get demonetized at all. It doesn't make any dang sense. And it's actually really frustrating as a creator because YouTube doesn't talk to me and there's no communication there. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. A lot of it is trial and error, me trying to figure out if this keyword or if this thumbnail or if this title or using all caps in a title is what's causing it to be demonetized, and it's just impossible to know. Which leads me into my next subject that I want to talk about, the uploading schedule on the channel. A lot of people have noticed there's a lot less consistency with everyday uploads. This war of mine seems to be sporadic. Subnautica also doesn't seem to be every single day. Isaac already said it wasn't going to be every day, but that's still beside the point. And the reason for that is because things like this war of mine, for one reason or another, maybe it's coincidence, maybe it's not, but every time I upload a This War of Mine video, every single video I've uploaded on that same day is demonetized all at the same time. And I don't understand why. And it will just happen all at once, and it seems to be random. And it's happened every single time I've uploaded this War of Mine video, and I don't understand if it's the algorithm or I'm just getting coincidentally unlucky. But I've been holding off on this War of Mine, uploading it once every few, like 3, 4, 5, 6 days, because I think uploading it has been tagging all of my videos, and it might be because this War of Mine is flagged as maybe like a, what do you call it, like maybe a political thing or a socially sensitive topic, which is another thing that it can get flagged for, because it's a game about war, and there's war in the title, and there's war in the tags, and there's war in the description. So I don't know, and I'm trying my best to figure it out. Now, I don't want you guys panicking about, oh my god, Mathis Games' channel is crashing and burning and blah blah blah. It's definitely hurting the channel, but as I've said before, when things like this have happened, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not all of a sudden, you know, eating peanut butter for dinner and living a poor man's life again. The last time I went into panic mode, I went out of my way to make sure I had diversified revenues, which means I have this channel, Judge Mathis, Lost Initiative, my regular Twitch channel, blah, blah, blah. And if this continues and I can't really get beyond it and the demonetization thing is just what it is, the heavier shift towards streaming is likely going to occur. Will it mean I don't upload videos every day on this channel? No, I'm going to keep uploading videos here. But it does mean I'm going to need to make a cognitive shift towards Twitch if YouTube just refuses to communicate and work with me, which is unfortunate. But that also brings me to something else that people have been asking about when they hear me talk about it, is do Patreon, Mathis, do a Patreon for Mathis Games. And while I appreciate the offer and, you know, wanting to support me, I hesitate to do another Patreon. I already have a Patreon for my Judge Mathis channel, and just for clarification, Judge Mathis never gets demonetized, ever. And I think a lot of it is because I am pretty family friendly over there. I will censor my swear words and all that other stuff, and I think it adds to the comedy. But I've only ever had one video demonetized over on Judge Mathis, and that's it. And I don't know why or how or whatever. But the point is, I already have a Patreon for Judge Mathis, and I don't really feel like doing another Patreon for Mathis Games would make sense. It feels double dipping in a weird way. So if you really want to support me and you've been looking to support me on Patreon or waiting for me to make a Patreon, I would suggest you check out the Judge Mathis Patreon. I'll put a link in the description below, because the money all goes to the same place. It goes to me. It supports me directly. And I would also urge you to watch the Judge Mathis content if you haven't already, to see if that's a content that you actually might want to just watch regularly or support directly. But if you just want to support me, you don't like the Judge Mathis stuff, and you're like, I want a Patreon for Mathis Games, I would put you off to the Judge Mathis Games Patreon, because it all kind of goes to the same place. It supports me and what I do and helps me keep channels running one way or another. So I will make sure that that's linked in the description below. I don't want another Patreon where I'm asking or you know, offering you to support me for more money. I already have one, and it's for content that I already make, and I love that content, and none of the channels are going to go anywhere. But I don't want to sit here and just beat a dead horse that you've heard a bunch of YouTubers talking about for months now, but I feel like I needed to address it for a little bit. It's been crazy. For those who watch this content and also already support me on Patreon, I want to thank you guys specifically. You guys have been great. Everybody on the Patreon, all the tiers on the patron, whatever you want to call it, actually get access to the Discord that I have up and running for that, and the people in there are just super nice and super supportive, and I want to thank you guys for just kind of being there for me to talk to and hang out with, and I'm there every single day. For those who just watch the content and have been fans for years, thank you. If you're a brand new fan, just been, you know, hearing about this for the first time, thank you so much for taking the time to listen. Again, it's frustrating, and it's like your boss that you work for never just talks to you and just tells you you're doing something wrong, but he never tells you what you're doing wrong. It's frustrating, but I'm going to do everything I can to work through this. And again, Mathis Games is still, I'm not making no money here, but it's very obvious which videos get demonetized and not pushed out while other ones do. It's a very weird system that YouTube really needs to get their crap together, because they're pushing people towards Twitch. And I've got brand new internet now. I've got gigabit internet, and streaming is something I can do now without stress of Comcast throttling my speeds. And I've already been doing more of that as time has gone, and I will continue to do that, because as much as I laugh about the cultish nature of Twitch and Bleed Purple and all that stuff, Twitch as a platform is transparent, and they communicate and they let streamers know what's going on with particular problems that may be happening on the platform, which is something YouTube needs to learn to do, or that's going to drive all their gaming creators away. And it's frustrating. So thank you guys again for really wanting to support me and looking for ways to do so. There's ways to do it, and I appreciate it. And if you just want to keep watching my stuff, that's more than welcome to do it. I'm going to keep messing with things and trying to figure out if there's ways around this demonetization auto flagging, and we'll work through it together. Thank you guys, and I'm sorry for beating a horse that you've probably heard beaten 1,000 times. I love you, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.